Bob was not able to walk. When I say he was not able to walk, he was not able to put any weight at all on his legs. This was one of the most devastating things for my Bob. Bob likes to walk, he likes to go to the mall, he's a social person, he has 1,000,001 jokes, and Bob was not able to walk. The other thing with this stroke is Bob had a terrible, white, blinding fear of falling. The first day we were down there, Mark explained the Vector to me, and he explained it to Bob. And he also told us that in order for Bob to continue with his therapy and move forward, we had to work on the fear. So Mark put Bob in the harness, and he set him in the chair, and all he did was slowly lift him up and set him down. The Vector has such control. It is so smooth. It's not jerking movements at all. It didn't frighten Bob as they moved him, but once he stood up, that fear took hold of Bob. Mark repeated that motion again of standing and sitting. By the third time, I noticed some of Bob's body language was a little bit different. And guess what? He was relaxing. He wasn't hearing us. He was hearing the Vector. We were speaking, but the words that were coming into his brain, the things that he was reacting to, was the Vector. That machine, believe it or not, was getting through where we could not get through. The next day we went down, and Mark again put Bob in the Vector. This time he allowed a little more weight on Bob's legs and less support from the Vector. He didn't have to work on the standing and sitting so much because Bob was trusting that machine. Bob was realizing, this is helping me. I'm okay. So Mark then started moving the Vector forward, very slowly, very deliberately. But he had to take his legs to move Bob's legs, first the left and then the right, giving him the walking motion. And little by little, he relaxed and was walking with much assistance from Mark. So Mark set him down in the wheelchair, and out to the middle of the floor we went, where there's a track on the floor for the Vector that you follow. Mark stood him up again, handed him the cane, started pushing his legs, and the next thing I knew, Bob took these awkward, uncoordinated, ugliest, yet most beautiful steps I've ever seen in my life. Even though he wasn't being cradled in that harness by that Vector, he felt as if he was. And then I started to turn around and look. Every patient that was in that room, every therapist, every visitor that was there, were looking at my Bob with their mouths wide open. They had seen him struggling with that Vector. They had seen him losing balance, grabbing on, making guttural sounds when he was so frightened. And here he is today, the third day. Let me repeat that, the third day. He is walking, he is on his feet, and he is walking. My goal and my plan is for Bob and I to go to a restaurant and have a dinner, and I'm going to be escorted in by my Bob. He is going to walk beside me. He is going to sit at the table with me, and we are going to have the best anniversary that we have ever celebrated in all of our 50 years. It's going to certainly be the most memorable. These people here that are with the Vector, we cannot thank you enough. Not only are you working with that Vector and helping an individual, you are helping a family, a whole circle of friends and loved ones. You are changing lives forever. Not only are you helping my Bob, but you are helping our families. And we cannot thank you enough for that. You are giving us a life back together.